Candlelight Conversations,
where we light up your minds with clever conversations.
I'm your host, Coco.
And I'm your girl, Roro. And you guys are a clever candlelight crew. Not the PPP, but the CCC. So, hey, y'all.
Hey.
Have you guys missed us? I mean, we definitely miss you guys. We definitely miss vibing out, recording for you guys, bringing you guys the topics and everything like that. So we hope you guys missed us too. But as you guys know,
life be lifing. Since we are a family, one of my daughters was sick, and I just had to take a break from everything, literally, not just this podcast, our business, Boy Me Rotten, Kiddie Spa.
Yeah.
Everything just was at a halt. But all is well. I'm glad to be back. And I'm ready to get back into it with you all.
I was thinking about doing a podcast by myself because her life was life. But we back, so yay!
She could have.
No, that would have been boring. That would have been weird. No, yeah, weird. Yeah.
She could have did it, but you want to get the Coco Roro experience.
Exactly.
That you're used to. But we just want to thank you all though for sticking it out with us so far. We definitely appreciate all of you. The ones that comment, the ones that don't comment.
We appreciate the ones that don't comment, but y'all need to comment.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some of y'all following us on Instagram, some of y'all following us on Facebook, the ones that don't comment. And I mean, we opened up a whole conversation. What was it called?
It's called Clever Confessions.
Clever Confessions. So we want you guys to put your input in it so we could put our input into y'all lives.
Right. We want to bring y'all into the moment.
Yeah.
And, we ain't telling your business. This is all anonymous.
Yeah.
I think the question that I asked was pretty simple. It wasn't too juicy. It was just kind of like, you ever done something crazy for somebody that you really liked? Or something out of character? And for me personally, I can't think of an instance where I really, really liked somebody and went out my way to get their attention. I do know, in my younger days, I was more upfront with somebody that I like.
Upfront than you are now, bitch.
Yeah, I'm so upfront now. So it was real upfront. I remember one time I went to the club. And it was this guy, and I was just went up to him, and I was like, "You got a girlfriend?" I was like, "Do you got a girlfriend?" And he was like, "No," and that's just where I was at, during that time of my life or whatever, and so, I wanted his attention, and I just went straight to him, I don't know this person, I'm at the damn club,
right? Yeah.
And and I was just like, "Hey, you got a girlfriend?"
I mean, leave it up to Coco to ask the weird questions like, you got a girlfriend? Because I wouldn't have been asking that nigga that. If I want you, I want you. You got a girlfriend or not? That sounds bad. But if I don't even know you, and I just look at you and see you in the club, I'm not asking you got a girlfriend. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to probably be your girlfriend. I just think we could vibe out. And then I see if you got a girlfriend at a later point.
Right. But yeah, I don't think anything specific it was some person I had a crush on, and I made a crazy ass sign or no shit like that to get somebody's attention, or say if you work with somebody, you got a crush on them, constantly keep walking past them or stuff like that. I've never done anything like that, so I wanted to hear if people have ever done anything to get somebody's attention. or out of their character, because some people are really calm, cool, and
Yeah.
collective,
Yeah.
and then for them to do something out of their character, like for someone that they like what did you do, and like what happened?
Well, I've never did anything for somebody that I like to that got me out of my character. I mean, I have got out of my character before, but it was for somebody that I liked, that I thought like me. You know, we were kicking it, whatever the case may be. And I mean, one day we were supposed to be hanging out and we ain't hang out. So I pulled up to the nigga house like, do. Like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my man, so I really did not have a right to do that. But it's like, I thought we was vibing. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was feeling the vibe or whatever. This nigga called the police on me, y'all.
She had a whole fucking moment. Okay, she had lost her damn mind.
On me. I had an out of our experience. I had to zoom the fuck up out of there. Like, I was gone. But like, it's like, what the fuck? No, like, if you don't fake. That's why you can't fake
with people.
You can't fake with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You never know how somebody's going to react. But then also on the flip side of that too, you can be honest with someone.
Yeah, honest.
And then they react crazy.
Oh shit. I don't know about that one. Like, if you be honest, then we know where we stand. Like, don't lie. Don't make it try to make it something that is really not, or that you're not really feeling, because then that will lead somebody to like knocking on that door. You know?
Yeah, but something like I was saying, your honesty can lead to like a little weird, crazy reaction because the other person
likes you so much,
wants something different from you. And so then you get a different reaction.
I think when you first meet somebody, like, it's not like, I think that's the opportunity for you to be like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Like, off the break, you ain't gonna know if you want to be with somebody or talk to somebody or whatever the case may be. So it's like, if you be honest up front, then I don't think you would have those problems.
I don't think that's true. I think it's very situational.
And I think you have to be straight up, because some people try to use nice words to like bring people down, and like, people don't understand the words, especially if they want to be with you or mess with you or whatever. They don't understand the nice letdown. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got to be like, look, this is what it is.
Right. So I'm just gonna be a bitch. You just gotta be a bitch sometimes, basically.
Yeah.
And like, no one has time for that. Like, I'm too old to be bitchy or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're all grown, so by this time, I feel like we should all know the signs, the the nice letdown, I guess it would be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know if somebody is feeling us or somebody's not feeling us. So you know what it is.
Right. And so, that's what the clever confessions was about. Like, have you ever done anything out of your character? Have you ever done anything like,
you ever pulled the fuck up?
Wow, to get somebody's attention that you like, maybe you started dressing different, maybe you started acting different. And that's all it was about. It wasn't too deep,
And we wanted to know y'all experiences.
Right.
Said shit.
Right. If you've done it or somebody's done it to you, this person did XYZ to get my attention. So it wasn't none of that. Like, it wasn't too juicy. But we'll have another question.
Right.
And we hope that you all hit us up in the DM and the inbox. And, let us know, one of your stories.
Exactly.
You could be in our but our topic is not even about that.
No, it's
but me and Roro today, we did like a lot of research. We talked a lot about what we were going to say. And as always, this is our perspective, our opinions.
Definitely.
It's nobody else's. And so, we just want to remind everyone of that, because people could be offended.
Yeah, and we do not want anyone to be offended by our opinions. It's only our opinion.
Right. And everybody can have their own opinion, and we're all adults to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And so, like, I used to work in childcare for many, 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 many years. I was a preschool teacher, I was a center director, I was a program director. I worked with kids for years, like for 23 years, 24 years. I've worked with kids, and that's a part of the reason, like, for my business, like, I'm used to like working with kids.
Right.
You know, that's who I'm used to, you know, working with. And so when you are dealing with children on a regular basis, you see all types of kids. You see different personalities, and you see different attitudes and mannerisms, everything. Working with kids at all different ages. And, you know, when it's been a few children and different jobs that I've had, that, you know, for me, like, okay, let me say this, okay? I don't want nobody to be upset.
I mean, because we're talking about children and we're talking about other things here. We're not really talking about children, but I mean, this is a touchy subject.
It's a touchy subject. And so when you work with children, and even you may see this in your own family, though, it ain't even got to be at a job. It could be your child. You know, and as a parent, also, you look at your children and see how they are and how they act and all those things, what they're interested in. And so, working in childcare, you see different kids, and then so you start to think. You may not express it to nobody. I've never expressed it to anybody or anything like that. But you may see like a little boy that likes to wear dresses or play with baby dolls, or you may see a little girl that likes to wrestle or, you know, play with trucks, and, you know, she wants to be a police officer, and the little boy may want to be a mermaid. And so you see all these different type of kids, and, you know, of course, they're sweet and innocent, and everything is pure. And so, like, our topic tonight is like, how would you feel if your child was part of the
LGBTQIA community?
And so this will be like a couple parts to this. You know, initially, like, if my child ever told me, like, I have all daughters, if any of them ever told me, like, oh, they like the same sex, I would not have a problem with that. I would be supportive. I would be like a little shocked just because of how they are now. And, you know, kids change all the time. Like, adults change all the time too. It's just not a child thing. It's, you know, people evolve over time. But I would never disown my children. Never. And I would never treat them differently. If they decided to be with someone of the same sex. Because you love who you love. You can't help who you love.
I agree.
And it would not be a problem for me at all. And I hope that my children would, if that was ever the case, feel comfortable enough to tell me. I don't want that to be something that's hidden where they feel ashamed that they have to tell me this. I want them to, you know, be comfortable to just come and tell me, because I'm going to give them the support that they need, because that community, you know, it's a lot of backlash, and, you know, it's a lot of hurtful things, and, you know, they deal with a lot. And so I want to be that support system for my child.
That's very understandable. For me, okay, so you guys are our Clever Candlelight crew.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to, when we started this podcast, I said I was going to disclose, be open to disclosing things personally, not to, like, not everything, but, things that I feel is personal for me. I have a son, I have a daughter. My daughter, I from the time she was one, okay, I thought that she was going to like women. Like she's always had the mannerisms of like the tough guy playing with trucks and cars. She don't want Barbie. She don't want none of that. Like she wants to dress in baggy clothes and everything like that. And I struggled myself with like, why she want to wear baggy clothes? Like not saying that little kids are supposed to wear tight clothes, but she wants to wear sweatpants every day, tennis shoes. She don't want to wear little dresses, nothing like that. So I struggled with that, but it never affected our relationship or anything like that. And just like Coco said, people change. Like everybody changes, everybody evolves. Now she's not like that. She wasn't like she got a skirt and everything that she's gonna wear to school tomorrow. But during the time period when I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like she didn't even look comfortable in a dress. So I didn't force her to do things like that or anything like that. But I was just like, if this is what she is, I let her be who she was. And I'm not gonna force her to do anything. Our relationship hasn't changed. I've always let her be her. My son, I've never had any thoughts about that. But if he were to be like the opposite sex, I mean, I would be shocked, but it still wouldn't change our relationship at all. Our relationship, our dynamic, and I feel like both of me and my children are close enough to where they would be able to come to me and speak to me about that because I'm very open with my children. So I let them know what's going on in the world and everything like that. So and it's okay. Like you can't help who you love. You can't help who you're attracted to. You can't help. I don't feel like you can help that. So I don't have a problem with it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different though for men.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to one of my friends earlier about this topic because I was trying to get people's feelings on it, and he has a son, and he was like he would feel like he didn't do something right if his son liked the same sex.
Right.
He would feel like he did something wrong raising him, but if he had a daughter, he would be okay. And so it's just weird. So, like, how do you all feel? Like, if you have a son, a daughter, both, like, how would you feel if your child told you, like, I like the same sex?
Because that's how I was feeling about my daughter. I was like, if she ends up this way, and still, if she ends up liking the same sex, like what did I do wrong? Like I wasn't girly enough for her to like know that you're supposed to be like it. I think that it goes both ways. So I can understand men's perspective, not wanting their son to be out that way because I wouldn't want my daughter to be that way. A lot of men would say, "Oh, it's okay if my daughter is that way or whatever," but I don't want my son like that. But it's like I mean, either way, I feel like you're going to feel like there's something that you did as a parent that affected that.
I mean, but also with him too, he said that it would change their relationship.
That's crazy.
And so would it change your relationship with your child? Because that is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because you've raised this is your child.
Right.
Like it would never change my relationship with my daughter.
Yes, never.
But like I said, everybody's different and everybody can't handle certain things And so it wasn't anything wrong that he said. I mean, that's just how he felt about it. And I'm like, cool. Like, I don't feel that way. I don't have a son either. And so, it's different for me because I only have daughters. And regardless, though, I wouldn't change how I feel about my relationship. Wouldn't change with my daughters because of that.
Yeah. So. I mean, I told my son about our topic, and he was like, I don't know, like I would be like, he said he would feel weird, but he would not disown his son. He said that he would be more acceptable if it was his daughter, but he did tell me that his father, who has 3 sons, said that he would disown them too. He said that he would disown them if they like the opposite sex, and it's like
the same sex.
Oh, sorry, the same sex, yeah. And it's like, what? But that doesn't, just because you like the same sex doesn't change your heart. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change you. You know what I'm saying? So I would never change my relationship with either one of my children. I might talk to him if he was gay, or talk to him about different shit than what I talk to him about now. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's about it, you know?
So yeah, let us know, like, how would you feel? And like, do you feel like it would change your relationship with your child or children?
Yeah.
And the community has lots of different aspects to it though. And another big aspect now is transgender men and women. And for me, if my daughters told me that they wanted to transition to become a man, I would feel some sort of way. I'm not even gonna lie, because it wouldn't be because they're different, they're still the same person,
right?
But to see my child physically change from a girl to a boy, it would take me time to adjust to that because I'm used to looking at a girl. It's the physical that would throw me off. And it would take me, I'm still learning about transgender. I'm still learning because, this is like new,
to everyone.
It's
to everybody who is not in the community.
Right. It's new, and so we don't understand why people want to transition, or any of that. And so it's constant learning. And so I know I would struggle with that because you're telling me, like, I'm gonna blink my eyes and then you're gonna be a boy. Like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with that because I'm going to be looking for a girl. I'm going to be looking physically, not in the person, but physically looking for my daughter. And I would kind of be upset about that. I would. I definitely would. And I would definitely be shocked. I would be shocked. I would. And I'm not going to disown my children, but I'm definitely going to be shocked. I'm definitely going to have the what the hell moments, and why, and are you having a moment? I'm going to have all those thoughts in my mind, just because, like, you won't ever look like how I remember you looking like. So then I have to hold on to those memories, and then create new memories. And so for me, that will kind of be a struggle for me because, like, just the physical. And then usually they change their name, and now I have to learn, address you by your new name. And I didn't give you that name. I did not give you that name. Okay? And now you want me to call you Michael. Like, what is, like, that's going to be a lot.
You don't change your name that far off from what
I mean, I'm just saying it's not gonna be a girl name no more. You know,
A letter.
I don't know, but for me, that would be a little bit more challenging just to deal with.
Yeah.
Versus them liking the same sex.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I could definitely understand your perspective on that. I mean, like, I feel like for me, seeing my daughter transition to a guy is going to be way easier than me seeing my son transition to a girl. So I definitely would have the what the fuck moment. Okay, if my son starts coming up here with some titties, and like, yeah, it's gonna be like what? But I definitely still will not disown him. I definitely still, or her, whatever. But I definitely would. It's still going to be my child.
Yeah.
But it still would be kind of awkward, of course, at first. You know, for me to even get used to calling him her or by her name. You know, so I could definitely understand that.
Yeah, that would just, I'm pray about that. But it is so many different genders now. We were looking them up earlier.
And this is not to be offensive, but I thought there was only two genders, male and female. I mean, it's like 40, I think it's like 42 or 27. I don't know. But it's a lot now. And I'm just like, where do they, how are we coming up with so many genders? And I'm confused as to like, how do they identify these genders?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how do they decide what type of gender this is? I guess the case may be.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I saw something on Instagram the other day, and I don't know what state it was, but now you can identify as a season. And so because it was this woman and she decided she wanted to identify as a season. And so she's identifies as fall. Yeah. So now she identifies as fall. She's no longer a woman, she's fall. And so everything is constantly changing. It's constantly something new, and it's something that we constantly have to learn about.
And it's constantly sad for me. I'm like, where is this world coming to? What is this? What is this world coming to? That's all I have to say.
But let us know how you would feel if your son or daughter decide to transition. In the comments, of course, because we want to know. And
another thing about how you were saying about the woman who wants to be autumn or whatever the case may be, like I just feel like the world is so open and trying to be so collective and trying to be so inclusive that they're just letting people do anything that they want to do, honestly. And I just feel like they're forcing it on our children.
Yeah.
So, I mean, stop it, America. Stop it. Because I do feel like that I personally feel like some people are born to feel like they are supposed to be the opposite of what they were born to be. So I understand that. But then all these other things come into play, and America is just making it like, okay,
it's a choice.
If you say that that's what you are, that's what you are. Mm-hmm. If you say that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Like, and making it okay, and then bringing it in the schools to where the children feel like it's okay to be this way, or experiment with being this way. Right. They may not really feel like that, but they may want to see how it feels to be this certain type of way. So I feel like if you are in the LGBTQIQ community, then I respectable of you all, but I just feel like you shouldn't be so, I guess, forceful with putting it or making people understand or conform to how you guys are. And I'm not saying that they should be rude, mean, bashing, like anything like that, because obviously it's different. We don't understand it. So you guys should be more understanding that we don't understand it instead of more aggressive that we don't understand it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so like I have people part of that community in my family, and I love everybody.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You are who you are. It's no judgment or any of that. But like Roro was saying, times are different now because like when we were growing up, this was not a conversation that our parents had to have with us.
Right.
And now we have to have this conversation with our children at a way younger age, because they see it on the TV shows that they watch. They hear it in school. Outside, just going to the store, and kids are very curious. They are very observant. So if they see a guy with a dress on, like one of my daughters, more automatically, she gonna be like, "Why you got on that dress?" Automatically, like and that leaves me to try to answer her in a way that she will understand and answer her honestly too, because I do want them to understand that there is a whole nother community and there are other people that they should know about and respect though too.
They're part of the community.
Right. And so it's just very different now than back in the day. And so like it is, I do feel like in some instances it is forced upon children. And like I said, then they have all those questions, and then it leaves it to us
who don't really
who
know.
don't know. They're still learning.
Yeah.
To answer it, and we don't want to steer
And we
them
want to
wrong.
be correct about what we're telling them.
Right, because I think what we looked up earlier, and it was 72
Was it 72? I don't remember how many it was.
genders. And then we were like reading over them, and some were like kind of the same.
Yeah.
But like one word changed it, and it was a whole nother meaning.
One word or one day or who you're around. I mean, it was a lot of different things that meant the same thing, but it's all depending on the day or the time or whatever you feel like.
Right.
So it's like you can be whatever you want to be whenever you want to be it. And it's like those people are.
So it is just very, different. Let us know if you ever had to talk to your children about the different genders that they may see or learn about or hear about.
How do you feel about it in schools?
Yeah, and how do you feel about it in schools? I haven't had to have like a serious in-depth conversation yet. I've had to have like the same sex relationship.
Yeah, I mean
which is what we know about growing up. I've had that conversation with my children, but not anything beyond because it's so much more. Yeah. It's not simple for me to sit there and explain to them.
It's really not simple. And I just want the community to know that we're just trying to get it right.
Right.
Like, we just want to understand more so that we can explain to our children what's going on. And that's why I was saying you guys could have a little bit more grace, or they can have a little bit more grace towards people who don't understand. Because we don't, it's new. It's very new.
It is. It's very new. And we're constantly going to try to understand, because like things are always evolving. And, you know, that's just how I feel about, you know, if my child were to like the same sex or if they decided to transition, and how I feel about how it's forced upon children nowadays. And I know, you know, people say like, you know, let your kids be who they are, and I'm all for that. My children can be whoever they want to be, with no problem.
Yeah.
But kids that aren't used to seeing a boy in a dress are going to have, you know, questions about that. Like, why do he have on a dress? And like, you know, maybe a little girl that always wear like boy clothes. They're gonna have a question like, why is she always wearing boy
That
clothes?
used to happen to my daughter all the time.
Yeah.
It would be like people. She went to a school where you had to wear a uniform, and she never wanted to wear a skirt. She never wanted to wear a dress. She always wanted to wear the pants, and people were like, "Why are you always wearing pants? Why are you always wearing pants? Like, oh, you're a boy." And she's like, "Girls can wear pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls don't always have to wear skirts or dresses or whatever." So, I mean, I guess they felt some type of way. I don't think they had any boys wearing skirts to school. But if they did, they would probably have those same questions. So it's like, you know.
Because everyone is visual.
Yeah.
So you go based off of what you see first before what you know. Like, and that's how children are.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's even how adults are too. And so if you see that, then you're gonna question it. And kids, you know, they don't have no filter. So they're just gonna come out and ask you, or say how they feel. And so it's just that the times are just very different.
And it's very hard. It's very hard for kids nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for them to be themselves. It's hard for them to understand what they're feeling. And I don't feel like things should be forced upon them like that. They need to be who they are. Because, like I said, if you see somebody, I mean, some child may see somebody in a dress and they may be like, oh, well, they got a dress. Let me see how it feels to wear a dress. You know, like, I don't know.
The influence.
Yeah.
Of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And kids are easily influenced because they are still evolving, still growing, still learning. Peer pressure, want to fit in, all those sorts of things, you know, come into play. And, you know, sometimes it may play a factor in who your child decides to be, because of those things. And so then it's like a uphill battle parenting, you know, your child. Like, of course, you know, I don't care what nobody says. Okay. You want your daughter to marry a man and you want your son to marry a woman. I don't care what anybody says about that. Of course, we're going to accept whoever, but the ideal is for that to happen. And then, you know, when it doesn't happen, you're just like, well, wow. You know, it's a wild moment. But
it's very disheartening. I mean, I guess it is disheartening. It is disheartening, but I would never banish my child because they decide to love who they want to love. You know.
But you know, in foreign countries, a lot of them, they don't play that with their kids. Like some
out the whole country.
Cultures will, the parents will like be done with their children. And just be like, oh no, that's it. I'm done with you. And that's their culture. So, you know, I think like some children or teens or young adults, they also hide it too. Because of their family. You know, depending on how their family is, they already know. If I ever tell my mother or father this is it. Like, they're never going to talk to me again. That's
we can go so many ways with this topic because like things are like just going in my mind right now, like really. But Like, I just, you as a parent, me as a parent, you as a parent, only advice that I have is love on your child.
Yeah.
The child that you birthed, the child that came from you, love on your child. That's all you could do, and that's all you could be, is there for your child. No matter what they decide in life, that they're going to grow up, they're going to be older, they're going to be grown, and they're going to do what they want to do. And at the end of the day, judgment day, whatever the case may be, like, it's going to be on them. Like, your responsibility is to care for your child. It's not to tell your child who to be, how to be, what to think, who to love. It is all about taking care of your child and making sure your child is good. So you as a parent, you want to give your child all the love that you can. I would never ban my child if they were anything other than the child that I birthed, because that is the child that I birthed. Like, that's my child. Like, it came from me, God blessed me with that. So, all you can do is be supportive.
Yeah. That's, however people deal with it, that's on them. That's up to them. And it's unfortunate if you ever decide to, be done with your child because of who they love or who they want to be. Because that's still your child at the end of the day, and they're still the same person inside.
Yeah.
But this topic, like Roro said, can go into lots and lots of different ways. And we just wanted to just let you know how we feel.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that. We want to know how you feel, though. I know this is not like your usual topic where we're like, Alan and all of that other stuff. Because guess what? We are grown up. Right? And we do know how to act grown up too. But we really, really, like I said, we talked about this a lot. So we thought this was really a good topic. And we had feelings on it. So we wanted to talk about it.
And we definitely want to know you guys' opinion about it and your own perspective in your own lives with, respect. Yes. So still be respectful with your comments, okay? Because everybody's different, but we definitely want to know you guys' comments. So please comment. Inboxes on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube. We are open to you guys' comments.
So on that note, Coco is out.
Roro, peace.